Picture this. You step out of the glaring, chaotic, overwhelming noise of everyday life and into a space of profound, elegant quiet. Sounds pretty amazing, right? Today, we're diving deep into an explainer of the core philosophy behind Jay Saggu's truly life-changing book, Speak Less, Gain More. And look, this isn't just about communication tips. This is about a massive mindset shift. We're going to discover exactly how using fewer words can unlock serious success in your career, your relationships, and your entire life. We live in a society that absolutely rewards noise. We are constantly surrounded by people who speak too fast, who over-explain everything, and who just desperately try to fill every single gap in a conversation. But here's the truth. Silence is not weakness. In a frantic, highly reactive world like ours, supreme quiet actually represents ultimate power. Speaking less isn't about fading into the background or disappearing. It's really about making your presence command undeniable respect. Okay, let's jump into section 1, the cost of noise, what you lose when you speak too much. So think about it. What are you actually losing when you over-explain? Well, studies consistently show that over-justification often signals insecurity to the human brain. Every single time you fill a quiet void out of sheer nervousness, you are literally bleeding away your own respect and inner peace. Every word has a cost, and wise people, they simply do not spend them carelessly. Reacting emotionally, that rapid, desperate need for immediate approval, it causes lasting damage. Words spoken in the heat of the moment leave scars that can last for years. But using silence as strength, that requires profound, disciplined control. It's making the intentional choice to let an emotion process internally before letting it out of your mouth. It really is the difference between looking totally impulsive and looking completely grounded. Moving on to section 2, silence in your career, the professional advantage of less. Ever wonder why quiet professionals are taken so much more seriously? It's because high-stakes environments reward clarity, not volume. Think about the person who speaks up in every single meeting without actually adding any value. They just become background noise, right? But the professional who listens fully and speaks with measured intention displays ultimate self-control under pressure. Over-explaining at work just makes you look defensive and unsure. Restraint, that makes you look like a leader. I want this next point to really sink in. Stop explaining yourself to everyone. When you over-explain a decision or a mistake, you just sound desperate for approval. Short, direct responses convey massive accountability. Imagine just saying, "I missed that. I'll correct it today." Period. No excuses. The more secure you become in yourself, the less you feel the need to explain every little choice you make. Let's look at section 3, protecting your relationships, words that heal or harm. The need to win damages love. Let that sit with you for a second. A lot of us speak way too much in our intimate relationships simply because we're trying to win. We want to prove a point, so we bring up the past, we raise our voices, and we drag the conversation on forever. But your relationship is not a courtroom battle. If every disagreement is treated like a war you absolutely have to win, you are slowly destroying the emotional safety and genuine closeness you share. Notice the stark contrast in our everyday habits here. Destructive behaviors, like over-explaining to get the upper hand, digging up old history, or gossiping just to fill the dead air, they slowly erode a bond over time. But protective habits, they rebuild it, just pausing, letting silence do the heavy lifting, and truly listening. Real connection requires letting the other person be heard without your ego instantly jumping in to fix them or prove how smart you are. Now for section 4, controlling the conflict. De-escalation without combustion. When tensions inevitably rise, using fewer words can de-escalate a room almost instantly. First, you just need to stop talking to prevent adding fuel to the fire. Second, apologize cleanly. The moment you say, "I'm sorry, but," well, you've ruined it. A real apology never includes a defense. And finally, change the pattern. Rebuilding trust isn't about making these big, grand verbal promises. It's about showing visible, consistent change in your actions. Your words literally have more power when you use fewer of them. Letting go of that desperate, ego-driven need to have the last word in an argument is the ultimate sign of character and mental strength. Staying silent during a conflict isn't weakness. It doesn't mean you're losing. It shows that you care way more about the resolution than the drama. It proves you're not ruled by your impulses. Which brings us to section 5, the power of less. Becoming a master of your words. To actually build the unshakable identity of a master communicator, you have to practice this daily.
Count to 3 before replying, especially when you feel tense. Keep your explanations relentlessly short. Let others finish their sentences entirely without interrupting. Ask more, say less. And above all else, leave silence alone. You do not need to play the hero and rescue every quiet pause in a room.
This concept of disciplined silence is really defined as strength under control. It's the intentional, mindful choice to filter out unnecessary emotional noise and speak only when it adds true value. Speaking less isn't about being timid or shy, it's about precision. When you finally do speak, people will lean in and listen because they know your words actually matter. This book can genuinely, fundamentally change how people see you. Think about what you miss out on if you don't adopt this mindset. You'll just continue to talk too much, lose respect, react way too fast, and exhaust yourself explaining things to the wrong people. Without this mindset, you are completely missing out on the profound power, the control, and the deep confidence that true, disciplined silence provides.
Wisdom is not shown by how much you can say, but by knowing what is worth saying at all. In a society that is completely obsessed with noise, true strength is quiet. True confidence doesn't ever need to shout. So I'll leave you with this. What could you conquer tomorrow if you chose to stay silent today?
If you are ready for some serious personal growth, or if you know someone who needs to build unshakable confidence, emotional control, and respect, this is the absolute ultimate self-help gift. Speak Less, Gain More by Saggu, available right now on Amazon. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I will see you next time.